The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. We'll start with hockey as last night the Blue Jackets picked up a much needed win to snap their 6-game skid as the CBJ beat the Islanders in New York 4-3 in a shootout. With a dozen games left in the regular season, Columbus is 2 points back at the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Next up, they host Vancouver on Friday night. NBA tonight, the Cavaliers wrap up their 5-game West Coast swing with a matchup against the Trailblazers in Portland. Tip-off is at 10 o'clock. Cleveland enters the night 2 games back of Oklahoma City for the top record in the association. And we're just 2 days away from opening day for the 2025 Major League Baseball season. Both the Reds and Guardians will get their seasons underway on Thursday. Cincinnati begins the year at home with a 3-game set against the Giants. Meanwhile, Cleveland will get it started out on the road with a 3-gamer against the Royals in Kansas City. Both games will begin at 4:10 on Thursday afternoon. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
From Learfield, this is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now here's your host, Tim Hall.
All right, here we go, Buckeye fans. Another edition of our winter spring. Now we can stop calling it the winter spring and just the spring edition of Buckeye Roundtable because we hit that day on March 20th, and there's a lot going on in our first full week of spring here. That means spring football. That's a big thing this season. And Ohio State, they are going through practices number 4, 5, and 6 this week. So a really busy week. Plus tomorrow, not really counting as a practice, but it sort of is, it's pro day. It could be an unprecedented number of Ohio State Buckeyes going in the 2025 NFL draft. And all the guys that are able and healthy that are planning on being picked on the big day, they're going to be wearing their gym shorts and shirts and showing every NFL scout under the sun what they can do. You saw probably all over social media that Cam Ward could be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He was doing the same thing in Miami here this week and throwing the ball with no pass rush and to his wide receivers with no defense and looking pretty good doing it. And I would imagine Will Howard, quarterback, who led the Buckeyes to the national championship, is going to look pretty good doing it come tomorrow. And a lot of the other Buckeye players that are going to be taken highly as well. We've got basketball that is wound down now for both programs. Men's basketball, of course, did not make the NCAA tournament. Women's basketball, disappointing end of the season, a second-round exit for the second straight year. That's twice now that they've hosted first and second rounds. Last year, the roadblock was against Duke, and this year, the roadblock in a 4-seed versus a 5-seed, Bucks being the 4, they go down to Tennessee, and they really stormed back to start off that second half. They weren't playing all that well, and then they had the huge run. You thought they were back in it, and they just didn't. They weren't themselves down the closing stretch of that fourth quarter, settling for some bad shots, turning the ball over as well. And it's never what you want. So with a 20-1 start to the season before they went out for those 2 key road games against the LA teams, USC and UCLA, and they got it handed to them a little bit out there, but they were 20-1 deep into the season on their way out there. So it's just a tough pill to swallow. It's difficult. And we'll have our last chat of the season with head coach Kevin McGuff at the end of the hour, but a lot of other stuff tonight. We're going to talk football with Bill Rabinowitz, who covers the team for the Columbus Dispatch. He's been out there pretty much every time players and coaches have been available to talk. And whenever there's been open practice sessions to the media, Bill has been there. I mentioned McGuff. We'll talk to Mick Walker, some more football. We'll talk the recruiting angles. Ryan Day was late to one of his media sessions. He started off the week. We had a Monday press conference where Ryan Day was supposed to be there at 11 a.m. post-practice. It was almost an hour delayed. I think pretty much the reasons for that is recruiting. That's why. This is a big time in recruiting, so that's what Mick is an expert at. We'll talk about what's cooking, what's the latest with the Buckeyes on the football recruiting front. And we'll talk men's hockey with Steve Rollick. They are in the NCAA tournament. They play Boston University, Thursday afternoon. That is going to be a banger. That's a hockey town, as you know, as we all know. But for college hockey, why'd you want to play college hockey? I want to win a national championship. That's what everybody's aiming for. So we'll talk to Steve, and then we'll talk to baseball coach Justin Hare after that. So a busy program. We'll keep it popping here. The Ohio State Football Spring Showcase. They're still calling it that, even though it's going to be more of a game like usual. We'll hear from that coming up. That's going to be Saturday, April 12th at Ohio Stadium. Our pregame coverage that day will start at 11:45 a.m. Coming up, we're going to hear from Coach Ryan Day, our spring football sound-off. Debut of this segment next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, Buckeye fans. We are rolling. It's Buckeye Roundtable, and it's presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. We're going to listen to some Coach Day sound bites. He had a big press conference yesterday, got us all up to speed on what's going on with his team as they make their way through spring football. They're getting almost to the middle portions of it. The Foundation has done a great job of supporting Ohio State student athletes as they give back to our community. Please visit thefoundation.com today to see how you can make an impact on Ohio State student athletes.
It's time now for Buckeye Roundtable's Ohio State football spring sound-off.
Yes, we have reached the point of the season where it's no more Coach Diebler. We wish that kept going. Next year, we're going to get it there. I have a vision. I know we will. But now we shift gears, and we hear from Coach Ryan Day. And I just mentioned there in the last segment how that spring showcase, well, it might be more of a game. This was Ryan Day talking about the festivities that are going to be coming up here soon.
Yeah, I think it's good for everyone to know. Like, my plan is to have a spring game. I just think we need to save a little bit of wiggle room in case we take injuries. That's it. So we want to do this. We want to play a spring game. Now, there may be some guys that are held from the spring game, but not many. We feel like, I think we're 159 days away from playing Texas, and that day will matter to a lot of young players. So we need to get out there and compete. The format of it and how it works will probably be similar to what we've done in the past. So it'll be a great opportunity for fans and folks to see our guys and get out there and play. That part of it, to me, it is what it is, but we need to go do it. It's important that we start the season fast, and I think that first step is playing in the spring game. If we're down some linemen or down some bodies and we have to adjust, we'll figure that out from there. But we're, I guess, just 3 weeks out here, and so we plan on playing in that spring game on April 12th. So looking to get a great crowd, and I know we got some great things planned that day.
That's awesome. I like to hear it. I've been vocal about this. I really am pleased that Ohio State football, and again, I want to make this clear too. It didn't have to be the same kind of spring game that we're always used to seeing in college football. I just think that in this day and age, it's still the economy in a certain position, right? Anytime you walk into the grocery store and hit and pass the egg aisle, right? Your eyes pop out of your head. But to be able to go to the shoe, to be able to take your family to Ohio Stadium and see those guys run out of the tunnel with their Buckeye leaves all over their silver helmets, that's a special thing. You might not be able to do that during the regular season, depending on where you live. You can kind of come in if you live somewhere throughout the state. A lot of people listen to the show. You might be in the Columbus area. You might be throughout the great state of Ohio or beyond. But it's a chance to just sort of celebrate the football program. It's a nice part of the year. You're going to catch a good day just to be at the stadium, hanging out with your family. It's not imperative what's going on the field. The format, things you do there can change. I'm glad that they will actually scrimmage a little bit. That's all it's got to be. There's a lot of ideas being kicked around out there, too, that I would be open to if you wanted to actually have an intra-squad scrimmage, get the Ohio Bobcats or somebody like that up to the shoe to play a game. That would be okay. But, hey, just being out there at the stadium where you have a chance to purchase a $5 to $10 to $15 ticket, something that's reasonable, gets you in the doors, figure out some kind of situation where you can get the autograph signings. I'm sure they do that. I've never been completely in the know as to where, when, or how that works, but glad that they're sticking with that. Texas, their first opponent for next year, they came out. They were doing away from all that. So this was also interesting, talking about the switch with Brian Hartline being the offensive coordinator. Is there a chance he's going to be calling the plays from right down there at field level? Some guys like to be up top, have the bird's eye view. Ryan Day on Hartline.
It's a comfort level of what you're seeing. And then there's, I liked when I was just calling it to be down on the field because I could look him in the eye. But I also like to be around the quarterback and talk to the quarterback. I think if all things are equal and you had a veteran quarterback, you can see more up top. You can be more organized. It's almost like playing a video game. You're detached from it all. And you can think a little clearly. You don't get caught up in the emotion of the game. You lose a little bit of looking somebody in the eye and see how things are going down there during the game. But it's a little bit of a feel. So I think as time goes on, we'll kind of let Brian try to figure that out, and we get into the preseason. We'll do some scrimmaging in the stadium. The spring game will probably be a little bit of a snapshot for him, but I'll leave it up to him on that decision.
This is a situation, too, where whatever the coach is most comfortable with. There's been a lot of coaches throughout the years that love that connection that he's talking to, that look in the eye, to be able to know what I think this player can go out there and do for me right now. Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator, you like to be up in the booth. It worked. Hartline's been down on the sideline. He wants to stay there. I understand that. It's like these last 2 weeks. We have the great Bodie Wells, executive producer of the show for years, and now we have Jacob Reimer, who's training. I look into his eyes. I see a guy that has absolutely no clue what he's doing. It's a total joke. I'm completely kidding. Completely kidding. You're doing a fantastic job. But just to illustrate what the analogy is, I can see that. We're on field level together. I know we got to be sharp tonight. I'm kidding. Again, joking again. Back to Ryan Day. So this part is exciting when you have a player that is as good as Jeremiah Smith. We all saw it, right? Just legendary freshman season. The numbers he put up, the catches, the touchdowns, the key plays he made in the college football playoff. You like just that. But then you find out, like Marvin Harrison before him, like he was in all facets, not just being the most talented guy, but being a great dude with a great attitude and also being one of the hardest workers out there. You have that trifecta. You're going places. And Jeremiah Smith was named an Iron Buckeye, where congratulations to him, also Sonny Styles and Austin Cerevel. That's great for them. But the workout warriors from the offseason, that's something that's an honor you want to get around there. Ryan Day speaking about Jeremiah.
Well, he was an Iron Buckeye as a freshman, which I think he's the first ever. And then to come back and do it again shows his discipline. And this is something that we talk a lot about. Talent is one thing. Does he have talent? You're darn right he does. But it doesn't always necessarily mean you have discipline to continue to do it over and over again. Make the right decisions on a daily basis on taking care of your body and the effort and the work and the intensity and the attitude. But you see all those things. And that, to me, what is the biggest difference differentiator with Jeremiah? It's that. And then obviously the skill, and he controls how much discipline and skill he has in his life. And so that's something we tell our entire team to focus on. God's given you a certain amount of talent. It's the discipline and skill that you control. And that's, to me, where he, again, is special. And his work ethic sets an example for the other guys. There was a day last week where we're in special teams, and he goes through and does one of the reps on special teams. And it was a drill that maybe he won't do. It was actually a defensive sort of drill where he gets your hands on a guy and snags him. And so, when he's up there, and that's the example for the whole team, if I'm a guy like Quincy or one of these young guys like Dez, I'm watching it saying, wait a minute, if Jeremiah's doing it, I got to do it. And that's great leadership right there. And we need that as we move forward with Jeremiah. And I think, he's done it by example, but in his own way. If he can start bringing guys with him, that's the next step for him.
That's incredible. Talking about Quincy Porter, one of the young wide receivers right there, Dez as well, some of their younger receivers. It's just great stuff to learn from, right? Doing it the right way all the time. Let's hear him talk about an offensive lineman that's going to be very key for the Buckeyes in 2025. Back, it's Austin Cerevel, an Iron Buckeye as well.
You think about the guys who have come in that third year, is really a lot of those guys take the next step. And that's what we want with Austin. And usually it's a good sign when you're an Iron Buckeye coming out of the winter. It's a great sign. So, again, I think it's funny. You get done on January 20th, and then you start up, just a week ago. And it wasn't only like 2 months ago. But sometimes you can come in with a different demeanor, different look in your eye, different approach. And, he's so far shown that look in his eye. Now, what he puts on the field here this spring was yet to be determined. But up until this point, he's done everything right.
All right, good stuff from head coach Ryan Day. Again, coach's comments were presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. We've done this every week. We won a national championship. We like to bask in the glow. Why not? It's spring. We got a long time before we play our next regular season game. I have a very special way for us to recap the most current national championship by also incorporating all the national championships that the Buckeyes have won this century. The road to the national championship flashback is coming up as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Now through March 31st, get 4.99 APR financing on a stylish new 25 Corolla or 5.99 on Corolla Hybrid, excludes Corolla Cross and GR Corolla. Or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $239 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, Buckeye football fans. Timmy Hall here with you. It's Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. We're going to go through that road to the national championship as we hit the end of the road or reach the end of the road. So this is going to be a good one. This will be a fun one here tonight to relive. Buckeye fans, you can say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings with a fixed price plan with AEP Energy. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And be sure to tune in each game for the AEP Energy halftime report.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Road to the National Championship Flashback. Hit it!
All right, so we made our way through the college football playoff. We listened to a couple of games last week. We got the job done over Oregon, 41-21. That, for me, some point in the middle of that first half when they were just steamrolling the Ducks, that's when I knew. Everybody says they've got a point where they know. Some say Tennessee. Ryan Day says it was at the end of the Texas game when Jack Sawyer was running the ball down the sideline for the scoop and Sawyer. We listened to that one, too, as they beat Texas 28-14, a game that got very dicey at the end. Felt like they were dominating Texas the same way that they were dominating Oregon. They just didn't have the results to show for it because they kept shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. But I thought once they repeated their performance against Tennessee, against Oregon, that this was the team that they paid for. This was the team. You can say that now, right? Because it's true. This was the team that I expected, and this is how I expected them to play. And they did that. They followed it up. They had double-digit wins all the way to the national championship. So we get to the Notre Dame game. We get to that Monday, January 20th. It was barely 2 months ago, right? And I kind of fast forward a little bit through the game here because I'm going to hit you with a bigger montage that not just covers this game, but some of the great ones throughout the years. But I think we all know some of the key plays in this one. Quinshon Judkins going over 1,000 yards for the season on this one with the Buckeyes up 21-7 over the Irish, trying to put them away.
2nd and 10, Ohio State at their own 25-yard line. Ibuka and Smith wide right, Tate wide left, tight end left side of the line. And Judkins, the single setback. Howard from under center feeds Judkins going up the middle, and he's loose to his own 35, to the 40, 50-yard line. Quinshon Judkins, he's in a foot race to the Notre Dame 30, left angle to the 20. Judkins to the 10, and he is taken down at the Notre Dame 5-yard line. Quinshon Judkins racing against all of the Notre Dame defense before corner Leonard Moore brings him down. The Buckeyes in the Giant Eagle red zone thanks to a 70-yard run by Quinshon Judkins.
And what a way to go over 1,000. The Buckeyes had a couple 1,000-yard backs with him and Travion Henderson. Incredible. You thought that they could do it when you had the talent back there. They get it done. That leads to a 28-7 Buckeye lead. As you know, Notre Dame had some bite. It was 31-7. They get back into this thing. They score. They score again. It's 31-23. They force the Buckeyes into a critical third down, and you come up with this play for who I think is going to go down in Buckeye football history is probably the best wide receiver to ever do it. And I feel like we're saying that about a wide receiver every single run here throughout the last 3-4 years.
3rd and 11. Buckeyes at their own 34. Out of the huddle, Tate will go wide left. Smith and Ibuka wide right. Bennett Christian is in the backfield along with Travion Henderson surrounding quarterback Will Howard. Notre Dame's defense shifts again. Howard out of the shotgun, back to pass at his own 25. He'll gun that deep down the right side, and it is caught by Jeremiah Smith at the 30 of Notre Dame. He's taken to the Fighting Irish 10-yard line by cornerback Christian Gray. Howard to Smith, getting the Buckeyes in the Giant Eagle red zone.
All right, Paul Keels with the great call right there, and that would essentially wrap it up as the Buckeyes made a field goal and go on to win 34-23. They're national champions here in this 2024 season, January 20th, 2025. Now, as I play this montage for you that I'd just like to call the program of champions, a lot of Buckeye fans had asked themselves, what's the right amount of titles? Like, when should you be winning it? Because when you're living at the top of college football, their goal is to win a national championship every year that they go into. And while, look, you're not Alabama, where Nick Saban won in 2015, 2016, 2020. I go before that, he won in 2009, 2011, 2012, 6 national titles, right, in a 11-year span. Crazy, ridiculous. But when you go back 10 years and you won in 2014, and you go back before that and you won in 2002, you got 3 national championships in a 23-year span. It doesn't necessarily look all that bad. It is pretty dominant when you think about it. You might want more. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that they couldn't have had more in certain seasons. But the fact that they've been winning at that clip is something. So I put together a little thing where we can listen to all 3 of these national championships and some stories behind them of how the Buckeyes have made it to winning another one here in 2024. Enjoy.
We've always had the best damn band in the land. Now we got the best damn team in the land.
Defense. Andre Johnson, Ethnic Sands, wide right. Roscoe Parrish, wide left. Peyton alone in the backfield. Dorsey under a center Romberg. Sands motioning. Back is Dorsey to throw. Grabbed. He throws it in the end zone. And it's incomplete. The Buckeyes win the national championship as defensive pressure got to Ken Dorsey and forced him to throw an incompletion. C. Grant right on the spot and in 2 overtimes. Ohio State grabs the national championship and ends Miami's 34-game streak. Wow! Marcus Mariota in the shotgun, gets the snap, drops back at his 35 to pass. Mariota bumps off one defender, rolls to the right, tries to elude another one, and yet another one. Rolls to his left at his own 30. Mariota just flings that one down the left side of the field. Intercepted by Eli Apple at the 25. And Apple will go to the ground at the 32, and that's it. Ohio State national champions for the 8th time as they defeat Oregon 42-20.
I love these players. This team wasn't supposed to do this, but they fought through adversity. They got stronger and stronger and stronger, and this is a great team. We finished the year a great team.
It can be argued that this was the best run in the history of college football.
Travion Henderson right around the right side and his 9th rushing touchdown of the year. That one's 66 yards to the end zone. And how about this Ohio State offense who's jumped in front of Oregon 30-0.
Beat Texas in Texas, which that was a road game. I don't care what anybody says. That was a road game. It was a very difficult game.
Sawyer's picked it up and he's running down the right side. Jack Sawyer hits the 50-yard line to the Texas 40. Sawyer to the 30, to the 20 of Texas. Jack Sawyer is going to take it into the end zone.
I think in the history of college football, I don't think there's been, top 5 wins like that.
3 seconds. Leonard gets the Irish on the ball. Leonard gets the snap. Back to throw Riley Leonard. Rolls to his right at his 20. Leonard sails that middle of the field where it's caught by Greathouse. He's tackled at the 40. Tackled by Jordan Hancock, and Ohio State national champions beating Notre Dame tonight. 34-23, the 9th national championship in Ohio State history. A team that got into the playoffs and they played angry and determined. and they give Ryan Day his first national championship. And Ohio State gets the victory, defeating Notre Dame 34-23.
It's surreal, man, and we're going to be brothers for the rest of our lives because of this. You know, we are bonded for life.
There's been some great teams in Ohio State history, 9 who are national champs, but in the last, I think it's 53 years, up until this game, there's only been 2 who have been national champs, and this is the 3rd right here. You know, we're going to take some time to celebrate, enjoy it, because these guys deserve it.
All right, good way to end it. There we go. Ohio State football, national champs, 3rd time this century since they switched it to either that BCS model or the college football playoff model, where you get to that final game and you absolutely know you're playing for college football's national championship. Pretty special deal, 34-23 winners over Notre Dame. I credit the Irish made me nervous in that game. The fact that it came down to that play where Jeremiah Smith had to go over the top one-on-one and Will Howard had to absolutely sling it, that's pretty exciting. It's kind of the way you want to seal the deal on a national championship. And the numbers weren't crazy. Like, Ohio State rushed the football pretty well. Looking at the box, Quinchon hit 100 on the mark with 2 touchdowns, 70 of it all in that call that we heard. But you had 57 for Will. That was a big factor, where you finally saw like K-State running Will in that last game, and he added it with 231 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. Only 4 incompletions. He was 17-21. But Notre Dame had the big first drive and scored there, and then they just chipped away and stayed in it and made the Buckeyes make the play at the end. We'll keep talking some Buckeye football here. We're going to hit the red zone and bring it to currently what's happening with this team and talk to Bill Rabinowitz of the Dispatch as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
As the official hot dog of Ohio State athletics, Sugardale is dedicated to delicious. Whether you're cheering on the Buckeyes at the game or grilling at your home tailgate, you can count on Sugardale to score a touchdown. Made right here in Ohio for more than 100 years, Sugardale has always taken a personal approach to making great-tasting, high-quality meats. Look for Sugardale hot dogs, bacon, ham, and more at your local grocery store.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Four-Mother, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostatefourmother.com. Go Bucks!
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. And no matter what tasty choice you make, our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, you get over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump and points. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back, Buckeye fans. It's Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Going to talk some more about this 2025 football team coming up with Bill Rabinowitz of the Dispatch. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Joint partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Bill, thank you so much for joining us this week. We had that Ryan Day press conference to start things off. Man, I feel like he hit on 35 different topics in that one. One that I was just kind of going over through my head is the question he took about the personality of this team. Do you remember that response? And where do you think the personality of this team is going to be found out with so many key guys leaving?
That's a great question. You know, these guys have been waiting in the wings for the most part. And now it's their time. I mean, I'm thinking about guys like Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson and players like that.
Yeah.
You know, they've been in the shadows for several years. And so this is their chance to make an impact. I think about a guy like C.J. Hicks, you know, who has not lived up to the promise of a five-star player. Now he's going to be a defensive end. I've got a story and it's going to run tomorrow on him. And just, you know, these guys, in fact, I forget who it was today. I think it was Caden Curry said he almost wishes they'd take the banners down because that was last year's team. I thought that was interesting. You know, I mean, it was no disrespect, obviously.
Sure.
He was actually a big part of last year's team. He made some big plays. But I get what he was saying, which is, okay, that's the past. Now we're the present, and we have to create our own legacy. I think Ryan Day likes what he's seen of these guys, but it's 1 week in the spring training or spring practice. I mean, you can't really know a whole lot.
You know, you talk about the defensive lineman group, and I know those were the players, and Coach Johnson spoke today. So that's what you're talking about, the story coming up. And, you know, we could go to C.J. Hicks because he's one of the guys that you mentioned there, has flashed signs. But, I mean, Bill, let's be honest. When you're that highly touted of a recruit, I would imagine things have been weighing on CJ's mind. And I bet he's had some dark days throughout his career with everything that was expected of him. But I credit him for having that attitude and going about it the right way now and being excited about what he could possibly be in Matt Patricia's system. This is his last year with the team. It's got to be now.
Yeah, it does have to be now. And he was a linebacker. You know, he competed for the job last year. He didn't win it. Sonny Styles won that job, which I think most people expected. But I thought he had a larger role. I mean, during the last 3 games of the playoff, he had 2 snaps total, defensive snaps. And so, you know, he's made some plays. There's no question. He's got ability. I mean, you're not a 5-star guy if you don't have ability. But he hasn't put it all together. And some of it is he's had really good players in front of him, right? I mean, you're not going to – it's hard to beat out Cody Simon, for example, and some of these guys that, you know, certainly as a defensive end, he wasn't going to beat out JT Tuimoloau or Jack Sawyer if he had switched last year. So, you know, some of it is just you have to wait your turn. But it is time. It is time. And in this recruiting, the 2022 recruiting class, only has 7 guys left in it. I mean, 14 of the 21 are not on the roster anymore.
It's crazy, right? And everything that you said is true about guys that CJ Hicks possibly shouldn't be passing up as far as defensive end. But I think it's been because he's been this hybrid type of player. Sometimes that's great. And I just think it's ironic because Jim Knowles came here to run a defense where everybody talked about the jack position, and then it wasn't something you saw. You saw a little bit of that in that Purdue game middle of last season, but ultimately didn't see it deployed a lot. Bill Rabinowitz of the Dispatch is with us. Speaking of Larry Johnson, and he addressed this and, of course, was going to kill any rumor of the rift between he and Jim Knowles last year. But what's your overall take on Larry and what he's meant to the program and how much he's still got left in the tank as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I can share this. I mean, I actually wrote it because I got permission from Jim Knowles. I talked to Jim Knowles for the book I'm writing, and he addressed that. And then he said it's nonsense. And Larry Johnson, I happened to talk to them back-to-back for the book. And Larry said it was nonsense. So I was able, when that came up in an interview, somebody asked Larry about the supposed riff. And then I went back and asked Jim Knowles, can I use this now? And he said yes. So I wrote a story basically saying there was no rift. I mean, a riff. It just, it didn't happen. And so People, I don't know where some people get information. I don't know whether it's kind of like playing the game telephone, where the more people you talk to, the more it gets misconstrued. Look, I also think that if you are one of 4 or 5 coaches in a room, you better have some disagreements. I mean, if everyone's in lockstep all the time, that's maybe a bigger problem. So I hope that if Larry had an opinion about something and Jim Knowles had an opinion that was different, that they would hash it out. And then when they leave the room, they're united. But I don't think anyone gets along, or I don't think it agrees with coworkers all the time. All right, that's probably not healthy.
Exactly.
So if there was a healthy debate about what to do, then that's part of the job. So I don't. That doesn't mean that there's a problem. It means that you're working toward a solution.
Bill, another guy we were thinking about, back to offense, that Ryan Day spoke about, and just what a hard worker he is, and getting the Iron Buckeye tab. Everybody around that program knows what a big deal that is. And for Jeremiah Smith, the stud wide receiver, to do it twice now, what are we supposed to expect from a guy numbers-wise that's already this good? Like, I can understand a numbers drop, you know what I mean? But you can still become a better football player. He could be in that category.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to reference the book too much. I don't mind actually plugging it.
It sounds like a great book, Bill.
Yes, I hope so. There's still a long way to go. But what I've heard, what people have told me about Jeremiah Smith, it just blows your mind. I mean, that he's almost like the perfect player. And what everyone is saying is he's more impressive, in terms of how he handles himself, the discipline he has, the work ethic he has. I've not heard one bad thing about the kid. I mean, not one. And so he's obviously an incredibly talented player on the field, and I think that's in part because he's done all the right things off the field.
Yeah, Bill, you're a great sports author. Your book, Buckeye Rebirth, is a good one that chronicled the last championship. I'm glad you're doing it again. Were you a big fan of John Feinstein? I know he's one of the great sports authors. He passed. I actually downloaded his book about Indiana's Bobby Knight. I'd never read it, heard so many great things, and I'm just like tearing through it right now.
Yeah, I read that back when it came out in 86, I think 86, 87.
Yep, yeah.
Great book. I mean, that was kind of a groundbreaking book in terms of getting inside the barn. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be John Feinstein because I didn't embed with the team. I'm just a reporter going back and doing a lot of interviews. So I didn't have that inside. He was literally a fly on the wall, and in that, or figuratively a fly on the wall, not literally, figuratively a fly on the wall. And so he had special access. I haven't had that, but that's kind of the idea. I mean, there are a couple of books I've used as kind of models. That's one of them. And you're trying to get at the truth as best you can, and not just kind of the fluff, and not just the rehash. So it's a challenge. But John Feinstein was a giant in the industry. I didn't know him. I knew people who were good friends with him, and it's a terrible loss.
Yeah, well, Bill, congrats on the project, and I know all Buckeye football fans are going to look forward to when it comes out. So we'll get some updates for you throughout the weeks here. Thanks a lot for joining us again, man.
Thanks, Timmy. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Bill Rabinowitz, sports writer, author as well. That book from the 2014 years, you should check it out, Buckeye Rebirth. We'll talk to Bill Rabinowitz of the Dispatch again. We'll talk some women's basketball. Kevin McGuff, his final hit of the season. Buckeye women's team out of the tournament. That's next as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through March 31st, get 4.99 APR financing on any new Camry. Or lease a Camry LE from just $299 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Four-Mother, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostatefourmother.com. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Talking women's basketball with Kevin McGuff in a second here. Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 2229.
Time now for the American Dairy Association.
Always a good night to talk some women's basketball. I know Coach McGuff and the girls wanted it to be a better finish. They left it all out there on the court, but they cannot advance past Tennessee. Coach, thanks so much for giving us some time to break down the season. How's everybody feeling? Maybe that's a stupid question. I know it's got to be rough right now.
Yeah, tough ending. Great group of young people and really enjoyed the opportunity to coach them and wish we could have went further. I wanted to coach them more, wanted to be in practice with them, wanted to get another game or two or something, and just didn't happen. And, give Tennessee credit. They played great, and we didn't have our best night, and we needed to play really well against a very talented team.
All those things, right? Everything that you just said. When you start to isn't it hard as a coach to separate the finality of the season to then actually breaking down the film? How does that work? Because in essence, for everyone that's going to return, it matters, right? How you play, but it's different because the season's done. So breaking down, when we didn't box out in the fourth quarter or the bad shot selection, that kind of how do you sort of put those conversations into buckets? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it becomes a little more of kind of looking at the season in totality for each player, what she did well, most importantly, where she needs to improve heading into the offseason to give some clear direction on how she may be able to impact us at a higher level to coming in the next season. And so that's kind of where it shifts to very quickly. And so that's kind of the process we're in right now, and setting up meetings with each of the young women in our program.
We know, we've talked before, we know in today's day and age how the immediacy is everywhere in college basketball with the number of players that go into the portal. Do you have a gut feeling on how much of your roster is locked in for next year at this point in time?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we'll have some people go in the portal for sure, and we'll probably get some people out of the portal. And so we're, having just lost, we're working on all that right now, and it'll take a little bit of time to develop. But yeah, that's the nature of college athletics, or specifically college basketball these days. And we're like everybody else. We're gonna do our best to retain the ones we want to retain, and add the ones we want to add, and hopefully rebuild a successful roster as we head towards next season.
Could you describe, Kevin, what the breakout interviews are like? Is it just you, or are your assistants involved? How many days does it take to talk to every single player? That situation.
Yeah, so we gave it yesterday. I mean, we're already setting them up right now, and so it's always me, and usually the position coach of whomever we're kind of doing the end of the year meeting with, and we're setting those up now, and we'll schedule those and have everybody come in, and we'll meet about it. And it's a new era too, because we're heading into now what we think will be revenue share, and so one thing we got to do kind of before the meetings is sort of lay out sort of a budget and where we think we can allocate certain dollars to each person.
My goodness, that's amazing. These are the things that are literally happening now for the first time ever. So this is how it's going. This is up to you and your staff to decide what the pile of money is and how it gets distributed to each individual player. That's how it goes.
Basically, we get a matter of fact, I have a meeting this afternoon with our administration about, it starts with that, how much is going to get allocated to our sport.
Right.
And then we got to start to divvy it up, for each player, where we think, what's an appropriate number, for what she has done or what we think she may do in the future. And yeah, basically it's a couple of days ago, I was a basketball coach, and today I'm the general manager. So it shifts very quickly, and it's just kind of where we're at these days.
I would imagine your Hall of Famer and WNBA coach can help in that facet, right? From coming from the professional ranks.
No doubt. She'll have some great input and kind of the best way to go about this.
Kevin McGuff is with us, and Kevin is, as far as right now, until we hear otherwise, NIL and the foundations that are associated with the Buckeyes can go on top of that, right? Same as the last couple, 2-3 seasons have been?
For now. In theory, if this House case gets passed on April 7th, that'll sort of start to go away. And anything on top of revenue share will need to be approved by a third party and will need to be deemed a legitimate deal.
Okay. So there's still a lot to sort out, man. This really is wild. It's just,
it's wild.
It's insane how much we all know how much college sports and athletics as a whole has changed in just the last 4 years. Thanks Ed O'Bannon, right? UCLA's Ed O'Bannon.
Right.
Got it rolling. But Kevin, did you even realize the home court record? Are those things that are always in the back of your mind? How that this was the first loss on the home floor since last year in March to Duke?
Yeah, no, I kind of in the back of my mind knew it because we hadn't lost, but I wasn't really thinking a whole lot about it. So, yeah, our crowds were great this year. They were really, really awesome, and I will tell you, I don't know that we would have won all those games without an incredible home court environment and advantage. And so I'm really thankful for how much the crowds got behind us.
Yeah, just honestly, when you look at it. You start the season 20-1, and then you have to go and play two of the best teams in the country. So you take those L's, but just an incredible amount of winning until you guys got to February. And it's not even like you fell off a cliff or anything. It's just the season gets long, and you know you're going to take some losses. It's a basketball season. Nobody's going to be 1976 Indiana anymore. That doesn't even exist. But when you look at all those factors, how you put everything in the computer there, what spits out? Everything about it, just being in a competitive conference, second round loss. Obviously, you want to go deeper and have a better run than that, but a lot of things to point to this year.
Yeah, no, it just didn't end the way we wanted, and it usually doesn't, except for one team, unfortunately. But a lot of great stuff. It was such a different year because of the expanded Big Ten. So that's one thing I will tell you. It was fun to play Oregon and Washington at home, and it was a really interesting trip to Los Angeles. Two great teams and great programs, so they were difficult games, but also you're there for like a week, which was just odd in that time of year. We've never had to do that, obviously. And so just such a different season, but it's sort of the new normal now. And so, next year we'll go to Oregon and Washington, and UCLA and USC will come here. And so, just that's the thing that really stood out to me, just the expanded Big E. And then we only played one team twice, which was really different too. And I get it, like, we have 18 teams, so it's hard to play a bunch of people twice, but that was a little bit different too, in that, I don't know, like, we've always had a great rivalry with Maryland, so glad we played them twice. But, I have some other programs too that we've had good rivalries and great games with that we only got a chance to play one time.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, Coach McGuff, always a pleasure, and we appreciate you being a part of Buckeye Roundtable throughout the entire run of it here. 25-6 season for your squad. I know it did not end the way you wanted to, but the program has been in pretty good shape, really good shape for a number of years right now. Best of luck attacking the offseason and the portal and everything that comes with it. 26-7. I think I shorted you a couple of a win there. Yeah, you know what I mean. Kevin, thanks so much.
Got it. Thanks, Tim.
Kevin McGuff, the head basketball coach for this women's program. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason. Interesting offseason for the men's team and an interesting offseason for the women's team with all the winning that they're doing, but wanting to get it to that next level. We got a wonderful second hour of Buckeye content coming your way. We'll start by talking some high school basketball. It's Buckeye Roundtable.
Add some spice to your pizza night with Donato's new Smoky Hot Honey Pizza and Smoky Hot Honey Chicken Sub. Bringing hardwood smoked bacon, wood-fired chipotle seasoning, and Mike's Hot Honey together for savory, smoky, sweet heat perfection. Now get $4 off a large Smoky Hot Honey Pizza using promo code SMOKY. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. We'll start with hockey, as last night the Blue Jackets picked up a much needed win to snap their 6-game skid as the CBJ beat the Islanders in New York 4-3 in a shootout. With a dozen games left in the regular season, Columbus is 2 points back at the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Next up, they host Vancouver on Friday night. NBA tonight, the Cavaliers wrap up their 5-game West Coast swing with a matchup against the Trailblazers in Portland. Tip-off is at 10 o'clock. Cleveland enters the night 2 games back of Oklahoma City for the top record in the association. And we're just 2 days away from opening day for the 2025 Major League Baseball season. Both the Reds and Guardians will get their seasons underway on Thursday. Cincinnati begins the year at home with a 3-game set against the Giants. Meanwhile, Cleveland will get it started out on the road with a 3-gamer against the Royals in Kansas City. Both games will begin at 4:10 on Thursday afternoon. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th national championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, Buckeye fans, hour 2 of the program. Welcome back. Coming up in the next segment, about 7:10, we're going to talk some Buckeye football recruiting with Mick Walker from Letterman Row. One assistant coach in particular continuing to do work, and he keeps making us talk about him. So that's coming up. We'll also have chats with the men's hockey coach, Steve Rollick, and our baseball coach, Justin Hare. That is all to come this hour. The Ohio State Spring Football Showcase, that is Saturday, April 12th at Ohio Stadium. Our pregame coverage is going to begin at 11:45 in the morning. Right now, it's time to talk a little high school sports.
It's time for the Ancova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
One of the highlights of the Buckeye Roundtable show is the presentation of the Ancova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each roundtable, Ancova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. This week's winner, Lutheran East's Jason Singleton. The junior point guard had a stellar performance as Lutheran East won its 3rd straight state championship in a 53-49 win over Columbus Academy. He scored 24 points, 9 of 19 shooting. He was attacking the paint, hitting step backs as well. He was 3 for 4 from downtown and had 3 dimes to go along with it. He is the son of former OSU basketball player, you guessed it, Jason Singleton. I'm sure Dad was really proud. Coach Sam Liggins sure was. He spoke of wanting just 30 days into the offseason to enjoy it. TJ Crumble, he gets a shout out too for his efforts in the win. But congratulations once again to Lutheran East's Jason Singleton, the recipient of this week's Ancova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Ancova Insurance, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for the American Dairy Association Mini statewide top performers on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm sad. This is really the last week we can keep it to high school basketball. It'll be more just general sports here, spring sports next week. But staying up north, Quinn Kwasniak's career went down in defeat. The star from Cornerstone Christian, he finishes his career as the all-time leading scorer in Ohio high school basketball history, breaking the great John Diebler. He put in 3,341 points, 562 three-pointers. Dude was just hitting threes from the logo in this game, just pulling up logo threes left and right. What Steph and Dame have done to this game, I tell you. 38 points in the state title loss to Rushi. Congratulations. The Raiders, they didn't play a single-digit game all season. They kept everyone else at bay to win the Division VII state title, 30-0. Great job by them. Outstanding season. To Columbus area action, Olentangy Orange gets the job done. An all-Columbus Division I state title game. How about that? Went to Orange. It beat Reynoldsburg 56-41. First basketball state championship. Orange has gone 76-8 over the last few seasons, with this one ending with a state championship win. And going back up north a little, the Division III state title game went to Louisville. The Leopards survived a feisty Aiken team, 63-61 to win the title. Aiken was down by 19 at halftime, stormed back to make it a one-possession game, but Louisville kept making that one extra play. Tate Aljancic finished the game with 17. Senior Braden Gross, he got D'd up a little bit, but he had 10 points. He was 10 points under his average, but he had 12 rebounds to go along with his 9 points. Congratulations to all of the teams that made it that far, and all 7 of those state champions as well. Our top performers from around the state, presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk has 8 grams of high-quality protein with the power to fuel everyone from elite athletes to weekend warriors. Well, I've got a few minutes before we get it back to football and hit some recruiting angles. We did talk earlier in the first hour with Bill Rabinowitz how it was defensive line day over at the Woody Hayes. Had another spring practice, and Larry Johnson and some of the select defensive linemen who are going to be key players in this 2025 team, they were available to talk. Larry Johnson, elder statesman as a coach, not just for Ohio State, but across the country, like for defensive linemen and for assistant coaches in general. He is one of the premier guys, despite what the hubbub was that was squashed that went on between him and Jim Knowles. Larry, liking the challenge of working with so many new players.
It's so fun, man. It's so fun. I'm enjoying every minute because you got a bunch of guys got no bad habits, and so you get to create those habits for them, and I think that's really cool, right? And the first thing for me is like learn how to play hard. That's run into the ball every single play, and once we can master that, then technique becomes easier. Right? If you don't play hard, you don't have any technique, that's a long process. And so I like what we're doing early on. We run into the ball, we're playing fast, and so I think it has a chance to come along.
Well, the highly touted recruit, C.J. Hicks, who was in as a linebacker, he's a hybrid guy. He expects to have a big-time season rushing the passer. He talked about what he enjoys about playing for Larry Johnson.
It's very intentional, but he knows that we're human. So, he knows nobody's going to be perfect, and it's okay to mess up, but the thing is being able to learn from that mistake and not do it again.
That's good. That's a good thing. Here he talks about the coaching switch that he's seen from Jim Knowles and now Matt Patricia, who was one of the biggest news stories, one of the biggest hires of the short offseason for the Buckeyes.
Obviously, in December, it was different because we had Coach Knowles here, and Coach Knowles was telling me different ways he was going to use me with the jack and where he was going to have me line up and things like that. Coach Day, what he was telling me was we were going to bring in a different coach, and that would just be a specific coach just for the position I was playing. Just that way it could just be easier on everybody. And it probably was just going to be Coach Knowles because obviously it's his defense. But with Coach Patricia coming in, I feel like it's a lot easier on everybody because of the fact, like I said, his experience and everything that we're doing now, it just feels like everybody can just play fast and just be themselves.
Well, you hear a lot of quotes like that when a defensive coordinator comes in and you haven't played a game yet. And I'm glad, though. I think attitude and what the mentality is going to be for C.J. Hicks, and he's right too. Matt Patricia, they're clearly making this a point of emphasis that they don't want to see C.J. Hicks' eligibility exhaust without being able to utilize something. I think they are taking that personal as coaches, which I agree with. I hope that they do want to help this young man maximize and reach his potential, because that is what coaching is all about. And it's going to make them feel better for giving him the opportunity and giving him a path where he can flourish. And it's certainly going to make C.J. Hicks feel better, who I'm sure, like he said it. He said that it had been a long 4 years to get to this spot.
It's been long, but like I've been saying, I'm gonna let God take the wheel on this one. I'm gonna just sit next to him and just enjoy the ride. Yeah, it's been a long 4 years, but I'm happy where I am, and I'm just going to continue to keep growing.
I think he's in a good spot here. I think he keeps working hard, and what could happen for him here in 2025. Some good players out there with Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson. Edric Houston spoke today. Good guy, really good young player that's going to move inside and play that 3 technique, but a lot of eyes going to be on C.J. Hicks. So we will talk some recruiting with Mick Walker of Letterman Row. Buckeyes getting a big boom here this week. We'll talk about that as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like the best-selling RAV4. Now through March 31st, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on a RAV4 hybrid. Excludes plug-ins. Or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Recruiting conversation coming up here in a second. Welcome back. Our show is presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. You can visit your local BK restaurant, grab your $20 Buckeye Blitz bundle. That includes 2 Whoppers, a cheeseburger, 3 small fries, 3 small drinks, and a custom OSU crown. And you better wear it. You have to wear the crown. Only at Burger King, where you rule.
It's time to talk Ohio State recruiting. This is Buckeye Roundtable's On the Trail.
Guy that always wears the crown, Mick Walker, Letterman Row. We're breaking down some Buckeye football. And it's always great, Mick, when you can start off a week and you get somebody verbally committed. So it's Tyler Bowen again. Tell us what went on. Sam Greer, big offensive tackle from Akron. Tyler Bowen is just figuring this thing out. We kind of saw something in him when the Buckeyes hired him. He's showing it, and we haven't even played a game yet.
Yeah, I think Tyler Bowen's wearing the crown. If anybody's wearing the crown right now after landing Sam Greer earlier today.
Get him all the burgers he wants right now. Tyler Bowen, he's a big guy. He could probably eat 6 of those.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, and Sam Greer's a big guy too. He's 6'8", 290 pounds. He led Hoban to a basketball state title as a freshman. He's played the past 2 years after dealing with an injury as a freshman at left. He started at left tackle for Hoban the past 2 seasons. He's just I wrote it earlier today, but he's the best pure tackle Ohio State has signed or landed since Paris Johnson Jr. coming out of high school. There is really no great comparison for him in recent memory because he has size that nobody else has signed. He has really athleticism Ohio State really hasn't signed in years at that spot.
Okay, let's build on that. Mick Walker is with us here talking some recruiting. Sam Greer joins another offensive tackle with Maxwell Riley, the second guy. You know, that we talked. You and I may have broken him down. We definitely talked about Maxwell last 2 weeks. But when you're throwing Paris Johnson's name out there, I mean, I can think back to when Paris Johnson was coming down. He was drawing, as a recruit, he was drawing some vague Orlando Pace type of conversation about a guy coming in as a true freshman that could very well play and be big time. What do you see in Sam Greer? Is it the fact that he is a two-sport guy, his athleticism to play that position? What makes you put that Paris Johnson link to him?
Yeah, really, it is the size. It's the 6'8", 290, but it also, I think Paris and Sam both have the mean streak coming out of high school where there's a clip that constantly goes viral. Paris kind of shoving a guy around back during his senior season at Princeton.
Yep.
Sam has a lot of that nasty streak to him. I remember 2 years ago, they ended up losing the state championship game to Massillon, but in that game, there was a play where the Massillon defensive lineman got into the backfield, and Sam kind of just laid on top of him because he pushed him flat to the ground, and the Massillon fans, being the large fan base they are, were booing Sam, wanting a holding call. And all Sam did is stand up WWE style and start waving his hands towards the Massillon fans, trying to soak in the boos that they were sending his way. He's just a mean son of a gun, and I mean he's a freakishly athletic offensive tackle, and I think it's a great start, like you said, pairing with Max Riley, who could play tackle, play guard, play center, and then I think Felix Ojo's a guy we talked about last time, and you try and get him as another tackle. There's a guy Evan Goodwin out of Arkansas that's coming in town next week that could be another tackle. There's a long list of guys. They had a couple guys on campus last week. They offered Aaron Thomas, Chancellor Campbell, even Tucker Smith, who could probably play tackle for him too. So board's big for Tyler Bowen right now, and he's working it, that's for sure.
Okay, there's a lot to get to. I'm sure there's a lot of different lines you have in the water, things you're tracking. I saw that Albert Hill is an interesting prospect, Archbishop Hoban cornerback, right? Speak of the devil. What do you think happened on his visit? Social media accounts, everything looked like it was great. That's typically what you hear. Where do the Buckeyes stand with Albert Hill?
Yeah, I think coming in this visit, Albert and his father wanted to spend more time around Matt Patricia. He posted a picture with Matt Patricia from the visit. It seems like they got to spend a lot of time together. And overall, I think that's really where the linchpin is, and the key point is spending time with Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, some of these other parts of the coaching staff, because he has a tremendous relationship with cornerbacks coach Jim Walton. Probably the best relationship he has with any coach, but it just needs more involvement for Ryan Day, from Matt Patricia. And I think that's starting to pick up, as it normally does this spring. Is when Ryan Day, you head into the spring before official visits, that's when Ryan kind of started circling on some of these top targets going into this upcoming class. And I think he did that with Sam Greer and Max Riley. They're in the fold now. And Ryan seems to be getting more involved with Albert Hill along with Matt Patricia, which is really what I think Albert wanted to do and what Albert wanted to hear. And that's a big reason why he got down to campus the other day.
Yeah. Do you think the fact that Greer's his high school teammate in this case, I know it doesn't always mean it, but does that help with the link there, teammates?
I think so. And you have another, his dad posted a picture of it. You have another former teammate already on campus, and early on enrollee linebacker Eli Lee. Like, you have one current Hoban guy, another guy committed. So all three of those guys together are definitely going to be in his year kind of recruiting. And Hoban's a big area when it comes to, I think Akron's always been good to Ohio State when it comes to recruiting. And Hoban's another one of those schools that I think they've done well at, despite some of the guys they have kind of let leave the state. But then you get a guy like Chip Trainum back before he transferred out before last season. They really do well at Hoban, and I think now having a couple guys in the program to build upon that, it should really benefit Albert Hill.
So the
Buckeyes in his recruitment.
No,
yeah.
sorry to stop you there. Mick Walker from Letterman Row talking some recruiting. So last thing here, looking at the updated class, you got Henry, you've got Greer, Maxwell Riley, Chris Henry Jr., stud wide receiver, folks, 5-star guy. He's been in for the longest. Jacob Weatherspoon, cornerback, Jaden Ricketts, wide receiver, Corbin Fordham, tight end. Anyone in particular you like the most? Obviously, Henry being a 5-star guy, but other than him, guys, a guy that pops out to you you're really stoked about.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob Weatherspoon and his Avon team knocked Sam Greer and Albert Hill out of the playoffs last year on their en route to winning a state title. I think Jacob, they're recruiting as a cornerback. He could probably play that. He could play safety. When I watch him during the fall, I think, this guy's going to be another Jordan Fuller type player at Ohio State, maybe even a Jordan Hancock type player in the nickel. Like, he's got that type of versatility and range in the secondary. I'm a big fan of Jacob Weatherspoon and what he brings, not only on-field talent but also off the field. And you mentioned Corbin Fordham there. I think he is the lowest ranked guy in that class if you go on the Letterman Row website and you click on the commits and rankings and all that. But I think Ohio State loves Corbin Fordham. I think Keenan Bailey loves Corbin Fordham. and that's why they went in on him so early to get him in the class. These highly ranked tight ends, if you look at them, it's probably the position where it's least likely to hit on, just because there's so many variables. You talk about a guy like Travis Kelce that was playing quarterback in high school, so signing a 5-star tight end might be one of the weirder things to do in recruiting, just because the hit rate on them is not super high. So getting a tight end you like is the most important thing, and I think they got that in Corbin Fordham. They got that in Jacob Witherspoon at cornerback, and I also think Brian Hartline really likes what he has, and obviously Chris Henry Jr., but Jaden Ricketts, who had a good junior season.
That's a good point you bring up about tight ends, now that I think about that as recruits. It's like before some of these recent guys, you also didn't see too many distinct centers. You would recruit, the linemen, and then you would mold the guy to play the center position at the college football level. But it's great to have guys that have actually played it and done it. But that's an interesting point you bring up about tight ends. Always appreciate the conversation, Mick. Good work by the Buckeyes here. It's only going to stay hot here as on-campus visits are happening. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thanks, Timmy. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, good stuff. There goes Mick Walker, some recruiting updates, taking us on the trail from Letterman Row right there. We've got a men's hockey team that is trying to get to the Frozen Four. They are in the dance. That is really cool. We're catching up with head coach Steve Rollick next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining healthcare.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Almost time to talk some men's hockey. I'm excited about this team and what they're going to be looking to do here soon. Nothing like it. Nothing like going after a national championship and playing for a chance to get to the Frozen Four. We'll hit you with a little football injury report here in just a second. Hey, Buckeye fans, Power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage, their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, so I will say, for the most part, haven't heard anything major with injuries with this Buckeye football team through spring. There's always going to be bumps and bruises. There's always going to be some guys that are held back for various reasons, right? And I look to Ryan Day. I mean, he mentioned injuries with some of his comments on having the spring game. We heard those comments in the first hour. And to reiterate, he said, my plan is to have a spring game. I just think we need to save a little bit of wiggle room in case we take injuries. That's it. So we want to do this. We want to play a spring game. Now, there may be some guys that are held from that spring game, but not many. 159 days away from playing Texas. I heard one of the other players there back that up. I think it was CJ Hicks saying, we know all the time how many days away we are from playing Texas. I think that's 158 days now for those that are counting. Isaiah West, incoming player from Pennsylvania, running back. He talked last week, too, about trying to catch up and adjust while recovering from an injury. So there's been some guys that have come in here. That's always the case. Bo Jackson was coming off a little bit of an injury as well. West might not be ready for some time, but he's going to be more of a depth player in that running back room. That's why James Peoples, Donaldson, the transfer, they're going to be big guys in that position group. But that's it. That's the injury report there. Our report presented by the injury lawyers at Elk and Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
It's time to hit the ice and talk some Ohio State hockey. This is Buckeye Roundtable's Rinkside with Rollick.
Always a good time to talk some hockey, and this team is playing on in the NCAA tournament. Buckeye hockey, though, losing a tough one in the Big Ten championship game in a ridiculous environment. Steve, we've talked. This is just the way your team plays, right? It's going to be a one-goal game. It's going to be an overtime game or double overtime game, whatever it takes. That was a tough way to go down, but I know your team fought hard.
Yeah, I mean, I give my guys a ton of credit. I mean, never quit, being down 2 goals 2 different times, and again, coming back and tying it up late. And, obviously getting a double overtime, you just never know. And unfortunately, they got one more bounce than we did.
How about, I just think in watching the way your team plays, and we've talked about it all season long, the never say die attitude. And just the way that Carfagna, I know you've watched the film on all these, the scores from Carfagna to Fontaine and the 2 to get it to tie. But starting with Carfagna, he's behind the end line, and he picks the puck up off the wall and just chucks it back. And you never know what good things can happen. He hits it off the goalie's blocker pad and it goes in, and that helps cut into the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Dame's playing some great hockey, probably the best hockey of his career. And, he puts a lot of miles out there in the games. I think he might have played 38 minutes the other night. So he's just creating a lot of things. And, when you put the puck in front, sometimes good things happen.
And then with the one that tied it up at 3-3, I swear, you don't see it when you watch it the first time, but does Thompson kind of whiff on the shot and it bounces off a Michigan State player and Gunnar Wolf is there just to rifle it in?
That's exactly what happened. Sometimes swinging and missing, I guess, works out. So, and then it finds its way to Gunnar's tape, and in the playoffs here, that's been a real good thing for us.
How did that go with, losing that game, but also having the pick-me-up with how well you guys have played as a team, that you made it all the way to the championship, and that you're still playing in the tournament to try to get to a Frozen Four here?
Yeah, obviously it was a gut punch. I mean, our guys gave everything they had, and they certainly wanted to win a Big Ten championship there. And, so it was tough. But knowing that coming home and turn the page on Monday and we got a chance to be in the big tournament, and we're one of 16 teams and anything can happen. So this is what we've worked for.
What does it mean to be playing in the state of Ohio here? You guys are on the way up to Toledo, and you're going to get the matchup here with Boston U, a feeder game that could go into either Michigan State or Cornell. So you could see the Spartans again pretty quickly.
Yeah, just fantastic to be able to play in Ohio here, 2 hours away from home. Hopefully we get some good fans that come up here and watch, and obviously playing a really, really talented BU team. I think we feel we got probably the toughest bracket out there and 4 unbelievable teams, but at this time of year, everybody's legit and everybody has a chance to win it all.
It was only a couple years ago where you had an experienced team make it to a Northeast Regional final. What are you able to tell the guys that have been there, talking to the guys that haven't made runs in the tournament about what this experience is about to be like?
Yeah, we got some guys that were there and played in that game and played in that regional and have some experience. So, this is a special time of year. And, again, you don't have to go out there and be somebody else. Go out there and be the best version of yourself. And that's what we're trying to do as a team, go out there and, be the best we can be and let the chips fall where they may.
Look, the team that you're playing here in round one, it's no surprise they are a hockey factory. Anybody that's watched Miracle or just knows college hockey knows that Boston U is the real deal. What are you looking for stylistically with how they play the game and what you guys need to do to advance?
Well, the first thing is high end. They got as much high end talent as anybody in the country. They got, I think, the third best power play in the country. They can score at a minute's notice. You just really got to be disciplined against them. One, in your structure and how you got to play, and two, obviously, you got to stay out of the penalty box. But yeah, impressed by their high-end skill.
The road to St. Louis, it has begun. This is just a fun time of year, right, Steve? This is everything that you play for all season long.
Yeah, this is everything. This is what you dream about. This is why you do those summer workouts. This is why you do the Herbies in practice. This is the opportunity of a lifetime and an experience of a lifetime to have this chance. So we're excited by it, and just never be satisfied with where you're at.
The call this game can be heard locally in Columbus on 1460 ESPN at 2 o'clock on Thursday. The Buckeyes in Boston U. And maybe figure out a way to cut off work and get on up there and support the Buckeyes. It is in-state. Enjoy the time up north, Steve. I hope we see you guys in St. Louis when we're talking next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, always good. Always good stuff. Man, that's a fun ride for that team. A couple years ago, making that run, Steve Rollick knows what it takes to get a program to a Frozen Four, and they're looking to do it right here. And you wouldn't want to see any other type of program, right? Let's see a Denver. Let's see a Minnesota. I know they're a conference opponent, but either way, one of the classics, a BU, Boston College, whatever it's got to be, Northeastern. Give me one of those guys, a dude on the men's hockey block, so they get to take them on in round one. That's going to be very, very special if they get the job done. Hey, you guys can promote, fans can hear the game. Oh, wow. I can't even hide from that one. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to run from that one. You just heard your host, yours truly, basically just start to read the teleprompter. I completely Ron Burgundied that. Only I'm not going to tell you what he told San Diego to go and do. That's the only difference right there. I'm going to keep my job for right now. We are talking Buckeye baseball. Try to bring it back. Try to reel it back in. Buckeye baseball talk with Justin Hare coming up. It's Buckeye Roundtable.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jupweiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JupweilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, basketball fans, Credit Union of Ohio wants to help you score more by making life more affordable. It's time to play with a team that helps you win every day. Credit Union of Ohio's loan rates have dropped to provide affordable financing for the things you want and need. It's time to reevaluate your current loans and consider refinancing with a team that cares about you. Check out current specials and get started scoring more money at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Not going to make that mistake again. Timmy Hall back here with you. It's Buckeye Roundtable. It's presented by Burger King. That I had to read. That I have to say. I do know my name. I don't have to read that part of it. I promise you. Boy, if you missed last segment, just a classic. Just an absolute classic. I just started reading a thing that didn't need to be read. We're going to talk some Buckeye baseball here. Hey, you can join Paul Keels and Jim Lachey on Wednesday, April 9th from 6 to 7 as they recap spring football and look ahead to the April 12th spring football showcase at Ohio State. And that'll be fun. Again, that's Wednesday night, April 9th from 6 to 7 here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to talk Ohio State baseball. This is Buckeye Roundtable's In the Dugout with Coach Justin Hare.
Always a great night for some baseball talk, and Justin is with us right now. Now, before we get to that Iowa series, we talked last week. You were getting ready to face Miami, Ohio. I love the midweek games. It's nice to see some Ohio squads get in here. How much do you love those? And it was nice to see the Bats wake up in that one for you.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'm friends with a lot of those guys. Obviously at Campbell for 17 years and a history of being at the mid-major level, and I know how valuable those games are to everybody involved. Like I said, I know a lot of those head coaches, and they're friends of mine. And so it's great to get to play those guys and get to play them here in Columbus in front of our home fans. A lot of them are very good. Again, Miami's at the top of the MAC. They're 7-2 in conference right now. And, we got West Virginia coming in next week. And so, you're seeing a lot of quality programs come in and out of here. And it's always nice to be able to play at home and compete against those solid programs.
Yeah, definitely a fan of those little one-off Tuesday or Wednesday evening games. You catch a good weather night, good to get out at Bill Davis Park. Now, when we move into Big Ten play, Justin, what's the number one biggest challenge that you're seeing so far? Obviously, you knew that this would be a project to get this program back to where it wants to be from a competitive stature, but seeing Indiana, seeing Iowa now, you're seeing some flashes out there, but overall, what's going to be the biggest step for your club?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is consistency across the board. I think it starts on the mound. We gave up a big inning each of the first 3 first innings of the games at Iowa. And so we were playing from behind, and that's never I don't care what level of baseball it is, whether it's coach pitch at 7 years old or the
Right.
last game of Major League Baseball. If you're playing from behind, from the jump, you're probably not in a real good spot. And so, I think just being able to get off to a good start and being able to know what we're going to get from our guys every time out, that's a piece that we have continually needed to work through here in the early season. And we fought some injuries and some different things, some illness and some injuries, especially on the pitching staff side that has, really jumbled up some of the roles. And so just working to figure out, who we're going to get each and every day, in terms of that consistent process and performance from those guys. And then on the flip side is, an area that we need to continue to improve on offense is just continue to stay in the fight, regardless of what the scoreboard says. I think sometimes we get caught, looking at the scoreboard and we're back or we're behind and we might have a 3 up, 3 down where really we need to be able to dig in and battle through and try to get back into some games.
Yeah, some tougher at bats, fouling some pitches off, just staying in it, having that grit and toughness in the batter's box. I know what you're saying. Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Justin Hare, the baseball coach, is with us, and you're going to have your hands full. Oregon, look, not a traditional Big Ten team, and they come to the conference now, and they're good. The Ducks are really good. I think, 19-5 as we're sitting at it today. They had 35 runs in a game. Did you notice that in your quick research on them, Justin?
Yeah, I try not to look at that part of things. Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry.
They've been to back-to-back super regionals. They've I'm a voter on the USA Today coaches poll, and so those guys have been in the top 25 all year. I think now inside the top 15, maybe even in the top 10 in some polls and stuff. So in West Virginia, same thing next week. Our next 4 at home are definitely going to be challenges, and again, it's no different than our early season schedule of playing a bunch of top 25 caliber programs and stuff. Our guys are prepared, and again, like. You just take it one game and one inning and one pitch at a time and try to come out and win the first inning and then win the first 3 and then win the first 6 and so on and so forth and just try to put it together from that standpoint.
Absolutely. Coach Hare, do you know Rob Vaughn at all? Had you guys bumped into each other in your past? Because he went viral. He was ballistic and got the Alabama head coach, folks. Watch that on Twitter or X or something. He went nuts in a loss to Tennessee and got tossed.
Yeah. Rob and I have known each other for a while. We're actually decent friends, and we go back and forth, and I have so much respect for him as a person, and for what he did at Maryland, what he's doing at Alabama, and all that stuff, and I don't know all of the context of what all that was about. But if Rob Vaughn got that fired up and that upset about something, chances are at least some of it was warranted. He doesn't normally. He's normally pretty cool. Keeps an even head about him. So there must have been something that really got under his skin, man. Because I haven't seen that that much from him. Maybe something about playing in those high-pressure SEC games or playing against Tony V and the boys at Tennessee that gets some guys fired up.
Yeah, I think there were some long breaks between pitches. Some things happened, and it goes from bad to worse. What's the hottest you ever remember getting in your years at Campbell or even before, player or coach? Do you keep it cool? I mean, have you been tossed before? Can you get hot out there?
Yeah. I think the longer I've been a head coach, probably the least hot, the less hot I get, but there's been some times there was, I remember we were playing, I was at Campbell, we were playing, it was maybe 2017. We were playing on a Sunday at Winthrop to win the series. It was 1-1. And we have a chance to hit an inside the park home run. This was before replay, and center fielder dives for a ball, goes under his glove. Mm-hmm. the guy that we've got that hit it is the nation's leader in stolen bases that year. So he's a really good runner. Comes around, would have either tied or put us up in the game. I can't remember exactly the details. And he gets banged out at home. I've got a pretty good view. I'm pretty far down the third baseline, waving him home, coaching third base.
Yeah.
Felt like he was in there, and myself and the home plate umpire had a lengthy disagreement in which I was sent to the parking lot, and my wife at the time, we had just had our we had just had our second. We had 2 kids at the time. We have 4 now, but we had 2, and they were both pretty young. And I think it was maybe even Mother's Day or something. She was coming up from Atlanta and stopped in Rock Hill to watch us play, and she had just gotten to the game.
Yeah.
As I was getting ejected,
Great.
As I was walking to the bus in the parking lot, she was walking into the stadium. So it was,
There's Dad.
Yeah. Hey, guys, so not my most shining moment, but there's, again, I think there's a time and a place to make sure that your guys understand that you've got their back, and sometimes there's a time and a place to just shut your mouth and move on. And I feel certain that more times than not, I've gotten run out for the right reasons, and for probably being correct in what I was saying. And sometimes my point of view and the umpire's point of view isn't always the same.
No, it's great. Justin, you and I both know I wasn't even there, but he beat the tag. He absolutely beat the tag. Come on. What are we talking about?
There is no question in my mind that he did. And so
awesome.
Gotta love the umpires. My relationship with umpires has improved over the course of my coaching career. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Am I wrong in assuming you're an Indians/guards guy growing up? We got opening day across baseball in the majors. It's just a big week for baseball here.
Reds guy,
okay. Oh, my bad. I know Hamilton. I knew I had it. It was I remember it from studying you. Reds guy, of course, a Reds guy.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
That's right. We've got the city holiday coming up here in just a couple of days, and downtown Cincinnati will be rocking and rolling, and Terry Francona in the dugout, man. Hopefully brings some good things to Reds country. We need it. We need it.
Bring your money on Thursday, because it is a celebration of baseball. It's like $111 getting the door price at Great American, like it should be in any great baseball town, right?
That's right. I mean, you don't even have to call off work. I mean, businesses are closed. Go downtown.
Right.
Go enjoy the parade and watch the Reds walk it off probably in the ninth.
No school, no work, just fun. All right, Justin, Ohio State's baseball coach, thanks a lot for catching up with us tonight. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, Tim.
Awesome stuff from our baseball coach there. Fun to talk a little bit about some of the other things going on in the sport there. His friend who coaches at Alabama, who flew off the handle a bit, and opening day coming up. We're all excited for that. Whatever team we cheer for, I'm here rocking a Kansas City Royals satin jacket because I spent some time in KC, went to school out there, so excited about them. Love the Baltimore Orioles. I could go through a list of teams that are in my background. You don't want to hear all of them. We're going to take a little trip around the block. Oh, there is an incredible nickname for one athlete in particular that I'm dying to tell you about. That's coming up as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th National Championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Rocking and rolling here, coming down the stretch run here for another edition of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Reminder, you can join. Nope. Did it again almost. I'm sorry. I just want to tell you one more time that we are brought to you in part by Encova Insurance for auto and home, encircling you with solutions you can trust. Encova, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtables Around the Block O.
I will say in my defense, I've never really had the issue with the reads before on the show. Once I started reading something that was for sure just a tip and not a read, I was done. I made it to the 3/4 of the way through the show, and then it was going to be rough down the stretch. But hey, this dude that the Buckeyes have on the men's lacrosse team, if you have not caught wind of the man they call Big Tasty, it's one of the best nicknames you can come up with. It's too bad that McDonald's doesn't have the Big and Tasty, because there would be, and the Buckeyes are a Burger King school too. So you would want the NIL to be fitting to what your partnerships and sponsorships are. But there's got to be something here, right? We can get some kind of food deal for our man, Caleb Fyock. He is 297 pounds, and he is a stud for this Buckeye lacrosse team that is one of the best in the country right now. He has a save percentage of .628. It's third best among all goalies in the entire country. Goals against is just 6.4. That's second in the country. He is outstanding right now. And they just came up with a 13-9 win on the road over number 4 Penn State. So job well done by Nick Myers and the men's lacrosse program. They're incredible right now. Again, one of the top schools in the country, and their next matchup, I know they just played Penn State, so they got the win there. They're 9-1. They lost their first game. They lost their first game to Utah, and then a 9-game win streak. So they are set to be at home, the great new lacrosse facility. They're taking on Rutgers Saturday, March 29th at 1 o'clock. Again, for info on all of your favorite Buckeye sports teams, just go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com. And a shout out to softball. The softball team made history in their most recent game. 11-6 win over Purdue Fort Wayne. It's not just anything with the run scored or the numbers there. It's the fact that they hit 7 home runs, tied for most in program history in a single game. And the other part of the history, broke the program's single-season home run record. Morgan Fry got the job done with a blast in the second inning. That was the Buckeyes' 76th of the year, which broke the previous mark of 75. That was set back in 2015, so that was 10 years. 10 years have gone by since they've hit the long ball as well. They've hit it. They would go on to hit 2 more in that game, and they've got 78 now heading into their game tomorrow against Akron. So incredible stuff for Buckeye softball. Job well done. And we know that Buckeye football keeps roaring on. They've got their pro day tomorrow. So you're going to be seeing a lot of action on social media and on the news about the Ohio State athletes that are going to be trying to get drafted in the NFL draft coming up here as the spring continues. Big day for Will Howard and many, many more of these Buckeye football players that are going to try to put the stamp down and see where they will ultimately get drafted. Emeka Egbuka, so many more. Buckeye Roundtable has been presented by Burger King, and it's brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is our guy, Skip Mossick. For our producer tonight, Bodie Wells, and training and doing a wonderful job, Jacob Reimer, I'm Timmy Hall. Thank you guys for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Everybody be safe, have a good night, and thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week back on our normal day on Monday at 6 o'clock. Go Bucks!
Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
In-betweens are made for pizza. In between meals, meetings, thoughts, that's pizza time. Stop at Speedway and get 2 hot, delicious slices of pizza and a Mountain Dew 20-ounce for $5 with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got a fitting personalized for you. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand your unique lifestyle, your daily routines, and most importantly, the pain that brought you in to see them in the first place. If your feet ache after a long day or that discomfort starts radiating through your knees, your hips, your back, I've been there. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And they're working for me. I walked all over the place in New Orleans covering the big game. I was loving it. I literally was walking for miles around the French Quarter, Canal Street, everywhere, because I had my personally fit arch supports in my shoes. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. I want you to be one of them. Go in, take the free test walk. They're immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
Austin Ward here, fired up for warm weather, golf season, longer days, more time outside. Ride the momentum and finally drop the weight you keep saying you will. With Awaken 180, it's fast, easy, and we're all proof that it works. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
No matter what you love about March Hoops, it's always mad, but we're always rooting for our Buckeyes. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to crack open a Coors Light and choose chill all tournament long. Join the ESPN Tournament Challenge presented by Coors Light for a chance to win cash, prizes, and even a flyaway trip to a mountain retreat. Just submit a photo of your broken bracket at CoorsLight.com/MarchHoops. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.